Baby, stop whatever you're doing right now. I mean it. Put everything down, because what I'm about to tell you, I need you to actually hear it. Not just listen to it the way we half listen to things while our minds are somewhere else. I need you to be here, fully here with me, because this might be the most important thing anyone has ever said to you before you walk into the biggest decision of your life. And I'm not saying that to be dramatic. I'm saying it because I genuinely, deeply care about what happens to you. Because I've seen what happens when this goes right. And I've seen what happens when it goes wrong. And I refuse to stay quiet when I know something that could change everything for you. Before you get married, before you say yes, before you sign anything, before you start planning the flowers and the dress and the music and all the beautiful things that come with that day, I need you to sit with me for a little while. Just you and me, like we're the only two people in the world right now. Because there are things nobody tells you before marriage. Things that get lost in the excitement, buried under the romance, swallowed by the rush of feeling like you've finally found the person, and now it's time to just dive in. And I love that excitement for you. I love that you have someone who makes you want to dive. But I love you too much to let you dive without making sure you know what's in the water. So here we are, and I'm going to be honest with you in a way that only someone who truly cares about you can be. Not harsh, not cold, but real. Deeply, tenderly, completely real. The first thing I need you to know, and please hear me on this, is that the person you are marrying is not the same person you fell in love with. Before you panic, before you pull back from these words, let me explain what I mean. Because this isn't a warning about betrayal or dishonesty or anything frightening. It's actually something more subtle than that, and in some ways more important. The person who showed up in the beginning of your relationship, who was attentive and exciting and full of effort, who texted back quickly and planned beautiful evenings, and looked at you like you were the answer to every question they'd ever had. That person was real. Everything they showed you was genuine. But they were also in ways they might not have even been conscious of, performing, not maliciously, just naturally, the way all of us do when we want someone to choose us, when we're trying our hardest to be our best selves because we know the stakes. Marriage removes the performance pressure, and what you're left with, what you actually get to live with, day after day, year after year, is the unperformed version, the one who forgets things, the one who gets tired and irritable and doesn't always choose their words carefully. The one who has fears they haven't told you about yet, and habits that will take you by surprise, and needs that they don't even fully understand themselves. That person, the unperformed, fully human version, is who you're actually marrying. And so the question I need you to sit with, the one that matters more than almost any other, is this. Have you seen that person yet? Not the person they are on their best days, but the person they are on their worst ones. Because anyone can love you when loving you is easy. The real question is who stays, who chooses you, who treats you with care and kindness when they're stressed and exhausted and haven't slept and everything is going wrong. That's the person you're going to need. That's the person who will matter most at 2 a.m. when something is breaking down and you need someone steady beside you. And I need you to know, I need you to have seen who that person is before you commit your life to them. I want to talk about something that nobody puts on the wedding invitation. Nobody mentions it in the toasts. Nobody brings it up over engagement dinners. And yet, it is one of the most defining things about a marriage. I want to talk about the ordinary days. Not the honeymoon. Not the anniversary dinners, not the big milestone moments that you'll frame and hang on the wall. I mean the Tuesday afternoons, the random Wednesday evenings when nothing special is happening and you're both just existing in the same space. The Sunday mornings when the excitement of newness has settled and you're just two people with a life to manage and decisions to make and responsibilities to share. Those ordinary days, that is where your marriage will actually live. That is where you will spend the vast majority of your time together. And I need you to ask yourself honestly, is this person someone you love spending ordinary time with? Not just someone who gives you butterflies at dinner. Not just someone who makes the special occasions feel magical, but someone whose ordinary company you genuinely, deeply, comfortably enjoy. Because the butterflies, and I say this with so much love, the butterflies calm down. They do. That initial intensity, that electric aliveness you feel in the early days, it evolves into something different. Something quieter and deeper and in many ways more beautiful. But different. And if the only thing holding you together is the electricity, you will feel its absence like a loss when it transforms. But if underneath the electricity there is genuine friendship, genuine comfort, genuine enjoyment of each other's company in the most unspectacular moments, that is a foundation that holds. That is something that deepens instead of fading. So tell me, and be honest, because I'm not here to judge you, I'm here because I care. Do you like this person? Not just love them. Do you like them? Do you enjoy them? Would you want to spend time with them even if there was no romance involved, no history, no emotional investment, just two people in a room? Would you still choose their company? Because that liking, that genuine enjoyment of who someone is as a person, is one of the quietest and most powerful foundations a marriage can have. And it is heartbreakingly underrated. I need to pause here and ask you something I want you to really feel into. Not just answer quickly. How does this person handle conflict with you? Not the big dramatic fights. Those are actually easier to remember and learn from. I mean the small friction moments. The disagreements about small things. The moments of misunderstanding. The times when one of you is frustrated and the other one is hurt. And you have to find your way back to each other. How does that go? Does this person fight fair? Do they stay in the conversation even when it's uncomfortable without shutting down or lashing out or weaponizing the things you've trusted them with? Do they come back to you after tension, not with more defense but with the willingness to understand? Do they apologize in a way that actually means something? Not just to end the discomfort, but because they genuinely care that they hurt you. This matters so enormously. Conflict is not something that goes away in marriage. It doesn't get easier just because you love each other more. In fact, as life adds more pressure, work stress, financial strain, family complications, the weight of shared responsibility, conflict can increase. The question is never whether you will disagree. You will. The question is what happens in the space between the disagreement and the resolution. What kind of people are you both in that space? Because the way a person handles conflict with you tells you everything about how they will treat your heart when the stakes are high. And you deserve someone who handles your heart with care even in the hard moments, especially in the hard moments. Let me tell you something that took me a long time to understand. Something I wish someone had said to me clearly and plainly long before I needed to learn it the hard way. Love is not enough. I know. I know how that sounds. I know it goes against everything the songs and the movies and the beautiful stories have always told us. But please hear me out before you dismiss it. Love is not enough on its own, because love without compatibility is a beautiful disaster. Love without shared values is a tug of war. Love without mutual respect is a wound that reopens. Love without friendship is a fire that burns brilliantly and then goes out. What love needs, what it absolutely cannot survive without, is the things it's built on top of. Respect, honesty, shared vision, the willingness to grow, not just together, but individually. The ability to give each other space to be fully human, to fail, to change, to need things, to become someone slightly different than who you were when you started. Love needs two people who have decided not just to feel something for each other, but to actively, daily, choose each other. To choose patience when impatience would be easier. To choose kindness when they're not feeling kind. To choose the relationship over the ego, over the need to be right, over the impulse to protect themselves at the other person's expense. That kind of love, the chosen, daily, active kind, is what marriage actually is. And it is so much more demanding and so much more rewarding than the feeling kind. So I need you to ask yourself, with full honesty and full tenderness toward yourself, is what you have with this person built on those things, not just on feeling, though the feeling matters, but on those deeper, quieter, more solid things underneath. I want to say something to you now that comes from a very honest, very caring place. I want to talk about your gut, not your heart. Your heart is in love, and that is wonderful, and I celebrate that with you. But your gut, that deep, quiet, often inconvenient inner voice, that sometimes says things in the stillest moments, things that you quickly cover over with logic or excitement, or the fear of what it would mean to listen to it. Have you been listening to your gut? Have you been giving it quiet space to tell you the truth without immediately rushing to explain away whatever it says? Because I've talked to so many women who are strong and smart and capable and deeply loving, who knew something on some level long before they were willing to know it consciously, who had a feeling, a hesitation, a quiet recurring thought that they shushed every time it came up. Not because they were weak, but because loving someone and wanting the dream and being afraid of the alternative is a very human and very powerful combination. And I am not here to tell you that your quiet hesitations are necessarily red flags. Sometimes they're just fear, and fear of commitment is completely normal. But sometimes they are information, important information, and you deserve to take them seriously. So I want to give you something right now. I want to give you permission, real, full, unconditional permission, to slow down. If you need more time, take it. A marriage delayed by wisdom is infinitely better than a marriage rushed by pressure. If there are conversations you haven't had yet, have them now. Before, not after. When the having of them feels like a disruption to something already decided, have them now, while everything is still open. While you still have all the freedom to respond to what you learn without the weight of a legal and emotional commitment on top of it. Talk about money. I know it's not romantic. I know it feels like it breaks the spell of the beautiful love story you're living. But financial incompatibility is one of the leading causes of marital breakdown. And I'd rather break a romantic spell for 20 minutes than watch you break apart for years. How does this person relate to money? Are they a spender when you're a saver? Are they in debt they haven't mentioned? Do they have financial goals that align with yours? These things matter, not because love is about money, but because money is about security.